Hello everybody! Happy New Year! Welcome to 2025. I hope you have a great year ahead, both you and your family and loved ones. And you know what we're going to do to kick off 2025? We're going to look at football shirts that I got in 2024, of course. And we've got quite a few of those. Yes, we're going to go back to the Christmas gifts that I kindly received, and we've got a bit of a mixture going on. We've got some new countries, we've got some special shirt designs, interesting sponsors. We're going to start off with a shirt that possibly would have made the top 10 shirts for 2024. Missed out because of the logistics of it. Wouldn't have been number one necessarily, but it probably would have been maybe 7th or 8th. And I'm really pleased that this was one of the shirts that I got. So without further ado, this is the shirt I got. Wow, look at that. It's all green and plain. There's not really much going on. You got a little bit of black on the collars, on the cuffs. Wonderful. But actually, there's something on the neck. So we zoom in. Oh, that's a very vibrant orange. And I promise you, it is very vibrant in reality. Can you understand what that says? Can you read what that says? Because I'm not going to pronounce that no matter what. Let's bring it around to the front and see if anything changes, or if it's just going to be a continuation of that sort of style. Oh, okay then. Okay, that's a little bit different, isn't it? So we've got a little bit more of the orange. You've got the orange crest and the Macron logo and the sponsor on the front, but we've got some stuff on the front. Let's just bring it a little bit closer for you guys to have a look at on the camera. That's interesting, isn't it? That's a very artistic front of a shirt. What's that all about? Well, I don't know. I'll just dress a mannequin and I'll get back to you with some information about it. Okay then, so there is the shirt, and it's a sort of a dark greenish and bright orange colour. But who is the club? Maybe not one that you're super familiar with. It is FC DAC 1904. Yes, and it's their away shirt from 2023 through to 2025, so it's 2 seasons this shirt has been worn. So obviously this was gifted to me. It was gifted through Classic Football Shirts. I sent a bunch of links and this was one that was picked up. I was quite pleased because they don't have any available now. They've all gone. So I'd been pretty annoyed if I was waiting for that one to be one I could definitely buy without being duplicated and realising I missed out. So I'm very, very pleased that this one was one of the ones that I opened on Christmas Day. When it comes to the club, they were founded in 1904. Obviously, it's in the name of the club, and they come from the town of Dunajska Streda, which is in the south of Slovakia. So it's a Slovakian club, which is on the border of Hungary, which will become a little bit more important in a minute. So they play in the top division, and the season's, as you would expect, sort of halfway through pretty much. And they currently sit in 4th place in the regular season. They're quite some way behind the top 3 teams. Last season they finished 4th in the regular season, so some consistency. But in the championship stage they were able to jump up to 2nd, though still quite a way behind Slovan Bratislava. Historically, the club's never won the top division. They've been runners-up quite a few times, but they've never actually won the league. Usually Slovan Bratislava are the general champions. They have played in European competition to some degree, but never been able to get out of the qualifying rounds. Now, when it comes to this club, it must be noted that they're more of a Hungarian club, should we say, than a Slovakian club. The fans sing the Hungarian national anthem before the games, and fans and club officials speak Hungarian, and they've got friendly relationships with like Ferencváros from Hungary, which I also have a shirt for, which, as you can imagine, has caused a little bit of friction. Some issues in Slovakia. People saying, why they're singing another nation's anthem during the games. But you can't ignore the fact that there's a very large majority population in that part of Slovakia that are Hungarian, and that seems to be what can happen in these countries, especially countries obviously that have had interesting history, should we say. So it's a Macron shirt. That's always a good start. We like a Macron shirt. We definitely do. Now on the back you saw some text. I'm not even going to try and pronounce what it says, but in English it translates to "We are of the same blood." That's an interesting comment, that is. I don't really know how to quite take that one. Now, when it comes to the design, it's a beautiful design. They've definitely put some effort and thought into it. It's not just something that's random. And it took me a while to figure out what it was, because anytime you'd go on like the club store, it wouldn't mention it, wouldn't talk about it. Any of the release stuff, there was no mention. There was no articles talking about it, and I think I may have found one, but it didn't specifically say it. It wasn't until I went through Instagram and found the original posting by the club about it, and I read the comments from the supporters, and it seemed that they were very pleased that it had references to Hungarian and local elements. And the local element with regards to the design is it's taken influence by the Danube, so the massive river that runs across 300 countries, the Little Danube, which I presume just sort of spins off it, and then something called Rye Island, which is in the area. And it's all sort of environmental stuff. You've got this interesting statue of this lady who's got her modesty intact, and it's great. You've got some animals, you've got football there, some sort of plant, I think. So fair play to them. Definitely can't say that they've just skipped out on it. And what they've done is they've used it for 2 seasons, which is great. So they did release it last season, and it was actually a shirt that was on my radar pretty much as soon as I saw it. The issue was they wouldn't ship to the UK. That's what happens sometimes, thanks Brexit. So I actually did message my friend who lives in Germany, because one of the destinations that you could ship to was Germany. And I said, look, am I able to get this one shipped to you in Germany and then you ship it on to me? Obviously, I'm going to have to pay 2 lots of shipping here. And he was like, yeah, that's fine. But for whatever reason, we weren't able to just quite get it pinned down. I'd be a little bit busy and then he'd be a little bit busy. And at that point, I just thought, this is just clearly a shirt that's just going to get away. And then when I saw it appear on classic football shirts, at a decent price, I think it was probably around £39.99, which was cheaper than what it would have cost me just to buy the shirt. And the shipping obviously is much less than it would have been to go to Germany and then back to the UK. So this is one of the few occasions where waiting actually worked out for me. It actually really did. And obviously I didn't have to pay anything at all because it ended up being a gift. So I would have been slightly annoyed if I would have done all that legwork and then it would have just been so much simpler to buy. But those are the sort of things that can occur. So that is one of the shirts. I think it's a great shirt to add to the collection. I think I've got 3 Slovakian clubs now, but I still don't have Slovan Bratislava. And there's another team called Spartak Trnava. I think that's roughly how you pronounce it. That would be pretty good. But again, they don't really appear for sale too much in the UK. That's it, guys. First video of 2025 over. And you know what? You might have seen it behind me. There's a parcel up there, which I actually bought from Classic Football Shirts in their Boxing Day sale. So they're 20% off. And there's 5 shirts there. There's 5 shirts there. So it's a good, strong start to the year. It's going to be a good year for football shirts, I think. It's going to be a good year. We're going to get to 600. That's the aim. Anyway, guys, hope you have a great weekend ahead, I suppose, yeah. It's a short week probably for most people, whether you're back at school, back at work, or just whatever you are doing, university, college, etc. And, thank you as always for watching my videos, guys. Goodbye.